Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Justin here, and we are going to be playing Graveyard Girls today. This is a visual novel that's being released, part of the Spooktober visual novel jam that's going on itch.io, and I'm just trying to cover all the games I feel like are interesting to me, or at least the ones that I've been seeing pop up. I'm sure I've missed quite a few, but this just got released today, at least in this current version. So we're just gonna go ahead and go play it. I think it's about 30 minutes long, so shouldn't be too crazy. I kind of like these short stories anyways. It's a lot more easy to digest. Let's just say that. Graveyard Girls depicts the complicated and traumatic aftermath of losing a parent during young childhood. This topic has been addressed as authentically as possible. If you're struggling with grief, you may not have a safe experience playing this game. And also say make sure you're not watching it. Um, let's see, it's intended for 18 years or older. If there's anything inappropriate, then I probably won't show it. So if any of this stuff is a bother to you, or it's going to be a trigger or anything like that, please don't watch the video. Yes. The leaves crunch below my feet as I make my way through the cemetery, counting each row that I pass. A frigid gust of wind catches my hair and blows it into my vision. I tuck it away carefully. I can't help but remember how he used to tease me about finding my long hair everywhere. He always used to tell me how beautiful it was. Once I find the section I've been searching for, I let out a sigh, although it's not of relief. The cold stone inscription stares back at me expressionless. Jason Gray, beloved husband and father. As I read the name quietly to myself, I think he's greeting me in his own way. What am I supposed to say? Nothing seems quite right, so I settle on the simplest of phrases. Hi, Dad. I made it. I know it's been a while. In truth, it's been too long. The last time I visited, he didn't even have a headstone. I'm sorry. I should have come sooner. What am I thinking? Coming isn't going to help, as if talking to a polished rock is going to bring any kind of closure. I turn to leave, but there's a magnetism to this place, as if he reached for my hand and said, "You're leaving already?" I gazed back at his headstone and whispered to myself, "You want me to stay? Fine." My mom always insisted that I be careful not to stand on graves when visiting cemeteries, but that was out of respect for strangers. This is my dad's resting place. I'd sat on his lap 1,000 times before. Why would he care if I rested on his grave now? I know he wouldn't have minded. Without another moment of hesitation, I brush away the leaves and sit back against his headstone. I lay my notebook across my thighs and settle into place. If I'm staying for a while, I'm getting comfy. Well, I guess not much has changed with you. He'd appreciate the sarcasm. Dark humor was his thing. Yeah, I like a little bit of dark humor myself. Just a little bit, not too much. I'll just sit here and talk to myself like a crazy person. I don't think that makes you too crazy. I mean, I've done the same thing with my grandma who passed away, who I was very close to, and then I ended up probably spiraling into a really big depression because of that. But I think I was already kind of there, and I think that just kind of pushed me over the edge, just because I was so close to her. Talk about mom or stay positive. Let's talk about mom. You know, it is a really good thing to open up and talk about things that bother you. Like, if you just kind of bundle it in all the time, I feel like that just makes it worse. But you know, you need to know at what level of mental stability you're at. Like, you don't want to push yourself too far because you know that leads to bad things. And I'm sure this game will cover something like that. And no one saw it coming. Oh, I was like, oh, I'm just kind of reading, and I mean, I know you guys can read along, but I'm trying to narrate it a little bit. One day you were gone. I don't think I processed that yet, to be honest. Mom couldn't handle the pain, so she shut down. I guess that was her coping mechanism. She spent months crying over you. She barely slept or ate. I didn't expect this to be easy, but I thought I'd still have my mom to lean on. I convinced myself that I was lucky to have her regardless of how she was handling this. This is a very deep game for something that's supposed to be Halloween themed. I mean, I know Halloween's all about spooky and scary, but it's like a lot of these games I've been playing have been kind of just depressing almost. We weren't alone either. People tried to support her. Aunt Cora wanted to visit a therapist, but Mom locked the doors and ignored her phone. It, let me tell you, therapy, I mean, I haven't done a crazy amount of therapy in my life, but if you're in the right mindset, it definitely helps. And I feel like when I was a kid, it definitely didn't help, but as I got older, it was something that actually helped me get through things, because you open up and you're able to acknowledge the problem. And I feel like if you don't acknowledge that, like, hey, I'm hurting here because I lost somebody who's important to me, like, you just can't get over it until you do that. I tried to talk with her too, but it was like she couldn't hear me. She was a shell of a person, shutting everything and everyone out. I thought she needed time, but one morning she packed her clothes and bought a plane ticket. There was no warning. She said she'd be back in 2 weeks, that she needed a vacation. Mom left, and sucks to say, I knew she wouldn't come back. Yeah, I would. If she was in that bad of a mental state, of course she wasn't coming back. I've seen her a handful of times since then. One of those times was to sell the house that you built. I still drive past it. I like to pretend that you'll be waiting on the porch having a cigarette or watering the plants. It's soothing in a strange way. I mean, if that's how you cope, that's fine. Like opening my favorite chapter in an old book, pretending I don't know the ending. I've done that before. I paused to catch my breath. Mom's in an apartment on the other side of the country with her new boyfriend, but I stayed here. She helped with my tuition and rent, but she's gone. Honestly, if you saw her today, you wouldn't recognize her. I feel like I never really knew her. She left me behind, and I think it's because I remind her of you. There's a hole in my heart where my mom used to be, and I hated her. A part of me still does. I used to think that it would be easier if she disappeared. Isn't that horrible? Saying it is worse than feeling it quietly. Daddy, I spent so much time hating her. She took up all the space I had left in my heart, but the worst part of it all is that I think I forgot to deal with losing you. Yeah, I had to come to that realization with my grandma. Like, I had to realize, like, oh, I never really grieved for her enough. I was sad, and I never really attributed it to, oh, I'm sad because I lost my grandma. I was just too young. I was about, I think 10 or 11 at the time. It's just, I was just too young to comprehend that. I've been kind of naive before that. Because the person I need to talk to most in this world isn't part of this world, I look skyward as I blink back. Welling tears. Aunt Cora used to tell me to think of you smiling down at me. I keep thinking of how sweet she is to say that when I picture you, you're looking up. I know that sounds dark, but seriously, what's left of you is 6 feet below me? Oh, okay, I understand what she's saying. Cora wanted me to remember you in a happy way, I get that. I'm just too literal. I searched for what to say next and wondered what he'd say if he was here. The truth is, I don't know how you would feel. Or what you would feel. Yeah, that's the other thing, like, losing somebody, it's like, it really depends on your background. Like, for religious people, you know, with the concept of heaven, it's like, this isn't really the end. Yeah, it really isn't the end. Like, that's just what I want to say. But for a lot of people, maybe that don't have, like, religious belief or don't believe in something before or after this life, it's like, losing somebody would be hard. I mean, like, that would be the end. But, like, the truth is, like, just death happens, and it's like, I don't want to downplay it or make somebody feel like losing someone isn't a big deal, but it's like, it's got to happen at some point. And it's like, I think what hurts more sometimes is not necessarily that someone died, it's like the way they died. It's like, maybe they died sooner than you wanted, or maybe, I mean, I feel like when you're growing up and when you're in, like, this kind of age, that's when it's the hardest. Like, from when I was, like, 10 or 11, that was really hard for me. And then, like, maybe, you know, in your teens and your young adults, like, that's really hard because you're so reliant on your parents for a lot of things, like emotional support and financial support. It'd be really hard to lose somebody at that age. Cora's words echo in my mind. Dad's smile. What was your smile like anyway? And that's the other thing. I don't have a lot of pictures of my grandma, like, just like we do now, because I feel like smartphones weren't a thing. Like, this was, like, 2007 when she died, so it's like, I have a lot of pictures, like, just older pictures of her, but I don't have any, like, of us, you know? I stay silent, afraid that my voice will break and the rest of me will follow. I do my best to reanimate my dad's grin in my mind's eye, but there's nothing. A stray leaf dances in front of me before heading west with the wind. I push away this distraction and close my eyes, forcing myself to focus on lost expressions. I try to revisit each part of him, his amber eyes, his perfectly straight nose, the way his eyebrows furrowed when I asked too many questions. Slowly I could piece them together, but he wouldn't assemble. Even his voice was a dull whisper. Why couldn't I remember how he spoke? One exact phrase plucked from my memory would be enough to hear him, but those words remained unspoken. I couldn't even remember how he sounded when he said, I love you. Ugh. I don't know if I should play this game. This is hurting. Like, I'm like, like, I relate to that. Like, I don't really remember, like, how my grandma sounds. Like, I can kind of remember it, but it's, like, very vague. So I, like, relate to this. I mean, I guess that's why I have so many opinions on it. And I'm sharing so many stories. A familiar pain begins to claw at my chest, one I'd buried under a mountain of pills early this morning. No, 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 not now. I inhale a ragged breath and shove the shadows away. It's something I've practiced for a while now. Keep talking. Distract yourself. You know, it's good that I visited before the snow. Winter is nearly here. You might not realize it, but today is your favorite holiday. It's also the day you died, 4 years ago. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame her. I don't think I was over it within 4 years. Like, I would say maybe 8, like, at the minimum. Is, like, how long it took me. And then, by that point, I was just depressed for other reasons, of course. Because, you know, once you're depressed for long enough, it kind of becomes like something you actually want to be. You just want to be depressed all the time. It's like, it's actually like kind of comfortable. I mean, it's sad and you like still struggle, but it's like you don't know how to be happy anymore almost. Like, you don't want to become too happy because you feel like something bad's going to happen. That was the detail that made me vomit when they told me about his accident. He was awake when the ambulance arrived. Why wasn't it faster? In my constant reimaginings, he'd always be unconscious. I couldn't bring myself to picture any details. I didn't want to remember how he suffered, but it was a part of his story. It's a part of his life. His sufferings and vices had even drifted into my dreams lately. The anniversary always amplified them. I tried smoking and drinking just to see what you thought was so great about it. I must have got the genes from you because they're my favorite crutch now. I don't know why you tortured yourself with them, at least I have my reasons, but I did know. My mom stopped hiding their broken marriage once his casket was closed. I knew things were rough, but I didn't realize how destructive they were. Lately, I've started to question my mother was the true monster in his life. It's funny, I spent so much time asking myself why you tortured yourself with such bad choices when I mirror them daily. That's why I'm here too, because I'm your daughter. I came here to suffer, not to heal. The pain doesn't mend like a paper cut. That's hard though. Like, you gotta heal for yourself. Like, don't be there to suffer. Like, don't. If you've had a hard event, why would you feel like you need to suffer more? And it's like, I understand that's just how you feel, and it's like I felt the same way before. But it's like, don't beat yourself up more over something that wasn't even your fault to begin with. It's just hard. It's like, you know, obviously I'm over a lot of the stuff that happened, but it's like, it's so difficult to look back and like see somebody in that situation and be like, wow, it's like you're loved and you don't need to feel like that. You don't need to hurt yourself over something like that. It's not, why would you be hurting? Why would you need to hurt on their behalf, you know? Like, don't make yourself feel worse than you already are. She's shown the world her true colors. You deserved better. Why can I picture her so perfectly? It's not fair. I need a breather. I've been like talking like nonstop. I bite my lip and push my mother's face from my memory. This isn't about her. Don't let her steal this moment. Anyways, I've been writing. Quite a lot, actually. Almost daily. It's therapeutic, I think. That is a good way. I feel like writing down your feelings is good. Getting my feelings on paper helps me feel detached from them. They're a little less heavy when I read them aloud. When I write, I can push the darkest thoughts I'm having away, even momentarily. The best part is, I'm not afraid that someone's listening and analyzing. It feels safer than the grief counseling I attended. I don't think the professionals were judging me, but when they listened, I felt them processing my words and misunderstanding. Just because I write dark things doesn't mean I'm a dark person. I think that's true of a lot of people. But I think at the same time, it's like, you wouldn't be writing those dark things if you didn't have some dark thoughts sometimes. Like, you didn't have something going on in your life that makes you feel that way. It's kind of like when you listen to a band, I don't know, that does like screamo or something, and they're really like pouring their heart out. It's like, yeah, if you like meet them on the street, they're probably not going to seem like this super sad person, but maybe deep down they do have those kind of feelings, and that's what inspires their music. That's just an example. My new therapist understands she's different from the others. It finally feels important that I go to my appointments. And that's another thing, like finding the right person. Because some people I feel like are just listening to reply, and some people are listening to understand. And you got to find someone who's really trying to understand how you feel. And it's also important that you have somebody who will just tell you how it is. You know, you don't want someone that's going to sugarcoat things all the time. Sometimes you really just need to hear hard things. And like, help you get through those. Like I've lessened the load on my shoulders. I get scared sometimes because each day is a wild card. I hate feeling like everything is out of my control. I'm terrified that therapy can't save me. I don't want to bottle things up. Holding that in was the worst idea I've ever had. That is true. Do not hold in your feelings for too long. Like, find some outlet. Like, I don't know what that is for you, whether that's somewhere online where you're like completely private and anonymous, or if that's a friend, that's a family member, if that's a therapist. Like, find some outlet in your life. I don't know why I'm like getting so into this game, but I really am. Dad, I'm done pretending. I drink, I smoke, I pop some pills before I leave the house. I'll do anything to be numb. And definitely don't do that. That is not going to help you. That is literally covering up the pain instead of getting rid of it. I'm afraid that scribbling my feelings alone is not enough. I thought the pain was dulling, but it's worse than the day you died. I know you're not here today, but I keep picturing you in every tomorrow. And each day the image grows a little dimmer. Between losing you and Mom taking off, I've been trying so hard to feel empty. It is okay to be upset sometimes. You just gotta release your emotions a little bit. You're not weak. You're not a bad person for feeling things. Oh, you're taking allergy pills, huh? Cheese, huh? I know it's a bad day when they can't keep me from crying. I just try to focus on the positives. At least I was doing better. Taking them as prescribed was a challenge, but I managed to for quite a while. Today was a hiccup. They're usually a subtle but helpful bandage. I'm an idiot for thinking that they handled the visit. Subtle can't cover this. How could I possibly expect this visit to be easy? It was naive of me. Today is always going to sting. The words I whispered under my breath 1,000 times echo out once again. You're never going to be okay. That is not true. Don't listen to her. And for her, don't listen to yourself. Is what I would tell her. Trust me, I know it could take forever. You might just never fully be okay, but you'll get to a point where you can at least handle it. And it's like sometimes just what you gotta do. I mean, I don't want to say you just have to pretend that you don't feel that, but like, you have to find something that makes you feel whole again. A chilly gust lifts fluttering leaves away from the earth, and I can hear them dancing around the air. I begin to imagine that I'm flying with them, twirling away from this place, away from my body. Hello? Must have imagined it. Is this where the Halloween part comes in? Are you okay? I open my eyes and stumble upward in a gaze. I hurriedly dust off my clothes before looking towards the stranger behind. Question. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I'm taken aback by her presence. I didn't expect to see anyone here. No, it's fine. You didn't scare me. My throbbing heart tells a different story. I suddenly feel thankful I'm not the blushing type. Are you alright? I'm fine. Why? She gestures towards my dad's headstone and suddenly raises her eyebrows. I think you were sleeping on someone's grave. Yeah. Yes, we were. Yeah, it's my dad. He wouldn't mind. Oh, the girl's posture stiffens noticeably, and I remind myself to tone back the abruptness. You're not talking to a ghost anymore, act normal. Ask her name, ask why she's here. She's probably here for somebody. I mean, that's probably the inconsiderate thing to ask, too. I'm not here because it's Halloween, if that's what you're asking. I'm visiting, I guess. Smooth question, coming off real friendly, Elle. Sorry I phrased that poorly. I'm Elle, by the way. I'm Lucia. So, Elle, do you mind if I ask why you're napping in a cemetery? Well, it wasn't on the agenda. Oof, I've been there. What are you allergic to? Not too sure. Yeah, has some hives. Yeah, that's definitely. I get it. Sometimes cats make my eyes itchy. Gosh, I'm allergic to cats too. I pet them anyway, they're worth it. Yes. You tell it like it is. So you're visiting someone too. Lucia's smile falters. Nice job, you're always good at brightening the room. Yeah, I'm just gonna ask her, oh, why are you in a cemetery today? I wonder what it could be. Wonder why you could be visiting. Your sister passed away. Her name was Kate. She died last week. I couldn't help but regurgitate the sentence that everyone has spoken to me in the past. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's like, what else do you say to someone who just like, oh yeah, someone just died, you know? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I guess. Not sure how to respond. Sorry, that wasn't the right thing to say. I don't mind, it's what everyone says. My dad died 4 years ago, so the memories are still pretty fresh. That's not really reassuring to her too, considering like they just died a week ago, and you're like, yeah, it's been 4 years, and I'm still not over it. I mean, that's understandable, but it's like that's not very uplifting. I struggle to backtrack, jumping to console her as best as I can, not in the same way that you're feeling. I mean, it's his anniversary today, so it feels closer than usual. That's understandable. I get it now. I'll be visiting on Kate's day too. Does visiting get easier? A Molotov mixture of disgust and embarrassment builds my chest. Just say no. Just be honest. Just say no. Yeah, there we go. I'm so glad I can choose. I don't know. I feel like that's a cop-out answer, though. Just say, no, I don't think it does. Or at least it hasn't yet. Just, yeah, say that. It hasn't yet. Like, always hold that hope. I mean, I haven't been there since he talked about his burial before. Don't cry. She's just like trying so hard not to have a breakdown here. Gonna do it. It never felt right. So full of life. So his graveside, it wasn't a place I could reflect on him until today. Yeah, today I wanted to try again. I'm not exactly sure why. I guess I had hoped it would help with the closure. Those are beautiful flowers. I like the arrangement you chose. Thanks, but I didn't leave those. I think his sister was here earlier. Cora's big on flowers. Oh, well, she has good taste. Sorry to focus on the flowers. I can't help myself. I'm a florist. Oh, that's nice. I mean, let's be honest. If they're already passed away, I don't think it's going to be a big deal if you don't leave flowers. Like, I mean, I feel like that would be more for you than it would be for them, you know? Should have bought one. If that's not your thing, don't feel like you have to buy them. Exactly. This is a good friend. I wonder what she's going to suggest. Oh, she just like flew across the screen. Oh, that's a nice picture. I like that. Yeah, no, we're not going to take something that was meant for your sister. Well, I mean, that was nice. Like, I feel like as, you know, her sister, she could be like, hey, I know my sister, she would rather me comfort you right now. Ooh, yesterday. This was good. I feel like Elle was like, and sometimes that's what you need to do. Sometimes you need to like stop focusing so much on yourself and like making the problem worse because you're just overthinking it. Sometimes you just need to focus on someone else. Yeah, you can kind of see the darkness under her eyes. Can't believe I fell asleep. It's a little embarrassing. Don't worry about it. You drink coffee? Yes. Let me buy you one. You don't want to sleep through Halloween? There's a great coffee shop in the Old Town District. It's not a little far. I walked. I don't mind giving you a ride. Seems harmless enough. I don't actually know her. Plus, today is not exactly an easy day for me. I mean, I think she means just fine. Take a selfie together. She's trying to reassure, like, hey, I'm not trying to kidnap you, by the way. Alright, they're going for a ride. It's nice to have a good friend. Even if I had a special person in my life, I wouldn't ask them to come here. It's hard to understand what it's like to visit this place unless you're missing someone. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame you for not going to a grave unless you, like, have somebody there you know. Ooh, it's a spooky cafe. I like it. Finally, the Halloween's coming in, not just super depressing. Wow, look at that spray. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love Halloween decorations. It's awesome. Some people get, like, really creative. Happy Halloween! Can I interest you in one of our spooky specials? Oh! Oh! Pumpkin cheesecake. Oh, game, why do you do this to me? I love pumpkin. I like pumpkin pie, and I love pumpkin cheesecake, too. Dang, I don't drink coffee, but a pumpkin spice latte sounds kind of good. Honestly, like, one of the best things is pumpkin eggnog. It's, like, the bomb. What are your other fall drinks? Maple, pecan, and chai lattes. Maple's okay. I don't really like pecan, though. It's not really my thing. Oh, that's a nice little CG. Thank you so much. I'll bring your cheesecake over as soon as it's ready. Don't you think it's too hot to sip? I'm sure it'll be fine. Yikes. My throat burns. I desperately try to clear it inconspicuously. Well, this is good. I mean, she's getting a nice distraction. This girl has unnaturally pink hair, though. Can we talk about that for a second? I used to. Yeah, I would imagine you wouldn't like Halloween if that was the day your dad died. Like, that would kind of ruin the holiday. You only hand out candy? You haven't dressed up? No, but I did like that part when I was in high school. Gosh, my wife is like 24 and she still likes to go trick-or-treating. Now that we have a kid, she just gets an excuse to do so. Ooh, a costume party. Let's go for spooky. Dress up as a witch. Absolutely. You let me tell you your fortune. Be careful. I will. Yeah, I feel like that'd be a trigger, but, you know, maybe this will be something that'll kind of get her out of her funk, you know? It's like, you eventually have to face up to it. Like, you can't just, like, write off this day and do nothing, you know? A date later. It's not obvious. I'm sensing something between these two. I wonder what it could be. So what's it like being a florist? Oh, that's kind of cool. Owned a flower shop for 3 generations. It's really not. My job is to fend off bad reviews. Always down to book a room at Island Resort. Gosh, I want to go back to Hawaii. I love Hawaii. I went for the first time this summer and it was so nice. We'll leave a good review if you give me a discount. Yeah, why are you looking at me so weird? My sister made a flower crown out of dates. Oh, yeah, that'd be kind of hard to talk about memories of your sister when it's, like, so close. It's good to be vulnerable. It's really good. If you can find someone you trust enough to be vulnerable around, that's good. Dang, now we're on to the big boy part. I want that cheesecake. My notebook, like a diary. Sort of. Has a bit of everything. Unfinished thoughts, sketches, some journaling. Yeah, I would imagine you wouldn't carry those things around. Those seem kind of personal. Uh, yeah, I mean, at least not in this life, that's for sure. Yeah. I mean, Elle would be a good person, and maybe that'll help Elle get over some of her stuff if she, like, comforts her, you know? Yeah, you do need someone to tell you up front. Like, I feel like my family just wasn't really that honest with me, especially when she was dying. Like, my grandma was living with us at the time, and, like, they sent me over to my cousins. So, like, I never really got to see her die or anything like that. Like, stuff like that just kind of, like, I wish I would have been there now. Yeah, no, grief isn't in stages. I feel like you can feel grief at any part of the healing process, you know? It's like eventually, you know, you might get over stuff, but like especially if you don't treat it, it's like you'll still have you'll still have that pain if you don't like really solve it, you know? This is surprisingly well written. I just want to say that. Like I feel like this is actually really good for something that was completely free. By the way, make sure you support the creator on itch.io. Download it. Leave a review if you just watched me play it. Cause like this is really good. I mean it's deep. Like I feel weird saying it's good because it's really like dark and kind of like sad almost. Yeah, there's really no easy way. I mean, I can talk about it now and be like, oh yeah, this and this would have helped, but it's like when you're in that state, logic is really hard to comprehend. Sometimes it's really hard to accept that because it's like the feelings you're feeling are just they don't make sense to you almost. Yeah, I mean, it's just like you're just not thinking straight almost. Yeah, I mean, it's just like you're just not thinking straight almost. Yeah, I mean, it's just like you're just not thinking straight almost. Yeah, I mean, it's just like you're just not thinking straight almost. Yeah, I mean, it's just like you're just not thinking straight almost. Yeah, I mean, it's just like you're just not thinking straight almost. Yeah, I mean, it's just like you're just not thinking straight almost. Yeah, she might need a moment to gather her thoughts, you know? Ooh, that's tough. I wonder if, like, that's saying that she overdosed, or if she just... her prescriptions just, like, quite literally killed her? I don't know. No, you shouldn't feel like that. Don't feel bad about for opening up. Like, even if the person isn't receptive that you're talking to, like... And especially, like, because Elle, I feel like, knows what she's going through. Yeah, it's good to have a friend to, like, contact, especially if you're feeling low. It's like most of the time I feel like when someone's feeling low and you like offer to like, oh, you can talk to me anytime, like they don't ever like take you up on it. But I mean, I feel like you should offer, because maybe sometime they will, and you need to be like open and willing to like help them out when they need it. It's like if you're gonna offer to like be there, make sure you're there, you know? Sorry, I'm not really like commentating over everything. I was running out of breath doing that. Because like I'm just like going very fast through the dialogue. I don't know. I like I've read about like the process they do to like prepare a body for like an open casket. Like I don't think my grandma had an open casket, or at least not that I was allowed to see her. So, but like I just know from other experiences like that's what they do. They make you look real nice and stuff. So it's not like looking at like a dead body. It's just looking at like someone like peaceful, you know. It's a very interesting process. I could not be one of the people who like prepares them for that. Yeah, I would imagine you probably don't want to remember much of that day. Uncanny Valley. Yeah, that would be weird, like seeing someone you loved and like just seeing them pretty lifeless. Yeah, and maybe for some people they wouldn't want that. I feel like I would have wanted that just for the closure. I feel like I didn't ever get closure. I had to kind of just deal with it, you know? And it's hard. It's probably hard in that moment, but I feel like later on in life you're gonna appreciate that. You're not gonna have that regret that like, oh, I didn't see them one last time, or I didn't like pick out the casket or whatever. Yeah, of course you can ask another question. That's a hard thing. Like sometimes I feel like, yeah, maybe my grandma would be looking over me. I feel like it just depends if you like believe in life after death, essentially. It's like it's not like a constant thing, but maybe like in certain moments, you know. I mean, that's going to be personal and different for everybody. I definitely didn't feel like she was watching over me right after that happened, because I never really got the closure that she was dead. So, yeah, that would be kind of weird. Like, that's... I don't think they're watching you shower. Let's just say that. It would probably be in, like, good moments, not weird moments. How did I cope? I mean... Wasn't this color last week? Oh, okay, so we're acknowledging that she has really wild hair. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna blame me. Like, that's probably... It's not you trying to steal a spotlight. It's like a symptom of, like, your grief, essentially. It's like you're doing something crazy and extreme, trying to, like, change yourself. Yeah, no one can give you a break, unfortunately. People can help you ease through things, but... Well, I feel like they kind of, you know, are both trying to get over things, and maybe, like, a friendship would help. Yeah, I feel like they both need to be kind of vulnerable with each other. Yeah, she kind of lost what seems like the most important person to her life, you know? Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I don't like to be vulnerable. That's something I've kind of had to learn to do as I've gotten older. And see, like, that's not your fault, though. Like, don't feel bad about that. Like, you had no clue that was gonna happen. Yeah, because it's hard, because your mom was probably feeling just the same way as you, like, trying to cope with the loss, you know? Yeah, I mean, that's doesn't sound like the greatest marriage, but yeah. It's not your fault. Don't believe in fate, or maybe you're right. I'm gonna say I don't believe in fate. I think everything happens for a reason. I mean, I believe in cause and effect. I mean, that's also a thing, of course. I mean, it really doesn't matter what age they die. Like, you can feel bad about, even if they were at the end of their life and they lived a long, good life, you can still feel sad over that. Like, or if they lived too short of a life, either way. Like, their age really doesn't matter on, like, how much grief you can feel for them. Well, it sounds like if it was, like, for losing her father, that sounds pretty... Why would they leave that for Kate, then? Well, they're growing really close really quick. I mean, obviously it's a visual novel, but... I mean, I guess if you find someone you really connect with, I mean, it can be that instantaneous. Ooh, are they gonna go to the party? Hey, you should go to the party, that'll be fun. They didn't even eat their food. They're just talking the whole time. Happy Halloween. Dang, it looks like New York. Yeah, I bet you'd get lots of kids, especially with all those decorations. That's cool. Boo. Date. Oh, okay. So they're not just friends. Oh. So I see you're not new to this rodeo. Always. Yeah, uh I feel like losing your sister a week ago, she probably needs a little more help than Elle does right now. I mean, though Elle probably needs help too. It can be mutual. You know, sometimes you need a good hug. That's sweet. Hey, you know, sometimes that's what you need. You need someone who's in a similar situation and who can honestly relate to you and have that similar connection. Sorry, I wasn't really saying much for like the second half of the video just because I was like really like reading about it and it was like really deep topics and I just kind of wanted it to talk for itself, but that was nice and that was actually more than I expected. I'm gonna be honest, like from the game, I was actually moderately surprised. I like the writing was really interesting. The characters, you know, were nice. Uh, Obviously they got really close really quick, but like I think that's just because they both were looking for somebody to like fill in a hole in their lives. So that's really nice that they're able to find each other and you know can now have like this relationship and kind of grow past some difficult things. Like they have each other, they have that similar thing in common and they can move on and that's hard to do. That's not gonna be an easy process or a quick one, but they'll have somebody who can kind of relate and help them to get over that. But anyways, guys, I mean, thank you for watching. Make sure to support the creator, leave a review. Even if you don't end up playing through it or downloading it yourself, just leave them a review just because I know it helps them with the game and stuff. Oh, apparently that wasn't the end of the game. Now let's keep going. Maybe I'd make her pancakes. I'm guessing this is like a little after game thing. Okay. Okay, that was the end. Okay, I wanted to make sure. I'm like, oh, is there like a whole after story to this game that I don't know about? I don't know. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That was pretty deep. I mean, there was some heavy topics, and I kind of talked about some of my experiences to relate to the characters better. Hopefully you guys didn't mind that too much. But yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure to support them. hopefully they'll do well in the Spooktober. I mean, this was really good. I mean, it wasn't like crazy Halloween themed by any means, but uh, it was just a good novel overall. So I really enjoyed it. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.